Good morning. Hello, hello. Good to see so many people joining us today. Thank you to everybody who is here on time. We're going to jump straight into it. We have got a fantastic speaker today. Um, Olena Lima is somebody, oh, look at that. We've got applause. She's somebody that we all know because she's doing some really amazing things in the industry at the moment. But before we jump into too much more about that, for anybody who I don't know, welcome to our community. I'm Angela Shelton, the CEO of Answers for Associations. We are here to talk about all things association land. We're here to help you grow. We want to build a community. And so we bring incredible people like Olena into your space so we can share the things that she's seeing and doing to help you be even more excellent at what you're delivering to your members. So use the chat group, ask questions, let us know more insights as to what you're hoping to learn from today. Or if you're learning things as we go along, we want to hear that too so that we can share that with everybody joining us. So without further ado, let me officially welcome our presenter, Olena Lima. Now, she is one of my favorite people in the association sector. And I have known Olena for, I think, almost 9 years now, if I'm correct. Now, I also wanted to just do a little shout out that this is 10 years in business in 2026 for Member Bo and Olena. And I feel this is something we really need to talk about because every year in business is an incredible opportunity, but 10 years means that you have worked with hundreds of organizations. You have done some really incredible campaigns over the years. Now, in terms of Olena's experience, she is all things marketing, membership, digital strategies, and she is just really across the board when we're looking at what these digital transformations are moving forward because things are going very fast at the moment. So today we're going to be jumping in talking about how to strengthen our member engagement, and we're looking for those long-term opportunities. So welcome, Olena. I'm going to hand it over to you now.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you for such a warm welcome and introduction. And I'm really flattered by you saying everyone knows Olena, but I'm pretty sure that not everyone. And I do see quite a few people in the room who I recognize their faces. So hello, everyone. Hello, Angus and Marie, Blake. Gosh, so great to see so many faces. But at the same time, there are many people who don't know me. So. As Angela mentioned, we hit two milestones this year. It's 10 years, and we hit more than 100 associations serving all around the world. So we work a lot with associations in the US at the moment, obviously Australia, New Zealand, Asia Pacific, and Europe. So covering, apart from that, I'm very lucky to travel around the world and hear association stories from all around the world. Also hearing stories in our membership marketing school, which we have more than 500 students at the moment. So having all the conversations and sharing experiences is absolutely invaluable. On another note, our experience with associations, we don't just come in and consult and just, tell people what to do and write the nice strategies, but we work with quite a few associations as virtual marketing department. So we have this hands-on experience. Some of our clients are with us for more than 7, 8, and 9 years been with us. We've been working their marketing. So we test, they are our guinea pigs, very honestly, and we test all our strategies working with them and testing how social media works, how engagement works, how email works. So we, walk the talk, and we actually, put the rubber on the road, and we implement everything that we learn, and we know what works. So today we will be talking about member engagement, and this is one of my favorite topics because you cannot fill the leaking bucket. You can never grow your membership unless your retention is high. And actually, what I always recommend to associations is to start with retention. And this was one of the biggest fail of my career. When I just started Member Board 10 years ago, one of my first clients came in and said to me, Olena, let's run the member acquisition campaign. And we ran the member acquisition campaign. It was very successful. We acquired during the campaign more than 100 members. So they were very happy. And we ran the campaign in November, so everything was good. And the campaign was join for $99 for 3 months, and then, got to give it a try, and then we'll continue. In 4 months, they called me and they said, Olena, do you know how many people we retained? like how many people we converted to the full membership. And I said, how many? And they said zero. And that was an absolute shock for me. But at the same time, it was a big lesson. And I'm not running the acquisition campaigns separately without reviewing the member value proposition and saying that retaining members, it's much more important than acquiring new ones. Because the problem is that acquiring new members is easier. And you may laugh here, but it is easy. If people come join in and had bad experience with you, it's very, very hard to get them back. So it's very, very hard if people join for 1 year, they didn't experience it well. It will be very hard for you to go to them second time and say, hey, come back, because they already have this bad flavor. So before you start any acquisition, which we can talk in a different webinar, let's talk about member engagement, retention, and loyalty. And before we begin, look, just to make things a little bit fun, let's just do a little poll. So there's a little QR code for you, not very difficult one, just to keep you awake, even though it's morning. I hope you all enjoyed your morning coffee. Just giving you 2 seconds to join. And the first question, you will have the QR code on the next slide too. The first question is, what is the biggest engagement and retention challenge in your association? And if your challenge is not written in the poll, please feel free to write in the chat, and we will just read your answers. What's the biggest challenge for you? Would be actually interesting to read in the chat your answers, and what brought you to this webinar? Why you decided to spend 1 hour of your time on very productive Wednesday morning to spend it with me, and what you would like to hear. So we can see members are not using the benefits. Amazing. We lack the data systems to track engagement. We will be talking a lot today about how to track the member engagement. We do not have enough staff time to follow up. Event and community participation is declining. We cannot identify disengaged members. Renewal fees transactional, but as we can see, almost half of you members are not using the benefits. This is a huge problem for your retention and acquisition. And I see this a lot. Associations have this absolute abundance of content, absolute abundance of member benefits, but there is no way to communicate. And we will talk about this a lot in today's webinars. Angela, I cannot see for some reason on my screen the chat. So if you see any chat comments, please let me know. Cool. All right. So when does the member decide whether to renew? And as you can see here, a little bit of the decision about the renewal comes at the renewal time. But what really differentiates any business in the world from membership business is that the member experience is prolonged. It's not only during the year, but it's prolonged during their career. They start with you as a student, they graduate with you, and then for the whole of their career, they go to maternity leave, they change careers, they become managers, they retire, and you are still in their inboxes and you are still with them. So this everyday decision to renew the membership and build the loyalty. So, and members really disengage overnight. Usually they drift regularly. They usually join you very excited and very wanted to participate. But then if you're not engaging them enough, they kind of drift away gradually. And we will talk a lot how to track this drifting. When I wish I could count the amount of times when clients come to us and say, Olena, can you please help us build the renewal campaign? And obviously, this is usually this 8-week renewal campaign at the end. However, the better renewal email or better renewal campaign will only take you so far. If your members been for the last 6 months missing your emails, overlooking your events, struggling to find relevant content, they know that there is a library there, but they just don't know how to find. They feeling disconnected. They're not connecting to the community, not logging to your member portal. the renewal communication cannot repair that. The renewal communication will be just another, if you're lucky for them to receive this renewal communication, it will be just another annoying email. So members stay when they have regularly experience something useful. If you can save member time, that would be the biggest investment, return on investment for them. They pay money to you and they spend time with you. And in return, if you can give them the tool to save their time, whether it's curating the content, and so they can trust that you are sending the content that they need to read, that they don't go through all other noise that they have at the moment in the market. If you can save time with any tools, calculators, benchmarks, or anything like that, this will really, really great. So members stay for the feeling of belonging. And I probably should have put this as first. If you have a strong community, members will stay. Members stay for the community they love, especially in these little niche industries when the conversations are happening. It's very important for them to feel this, I belong to this group. Members stay for the progress. If you can help them progress their career, if you can help business owners to find new business, if you can help employees to get the promotion, they will stay for the recognition, trust, and ability to contribute. And we cannot underestimate the importance of ability to contribute. And we will talk about this a lot. What we see a lot of community breaks. The first one, very much aligned with our poll at the beginning, is that the member doesn't know what the value is. The value exists, but it's too broad, hidden, and difficult to access. And this is where these problems of members don't use our benefits come from. The member is overwhelmed. There is so much of information that they open up and I just don't have time to do this. People, especially in our day and age, and please analyze your behavior. People love structure and people love the instructions of what next steps they want to take. That's why any single business mentoring program, any single program on how to lose the weight, the more schedules are from A to Z and how you get there. And even if it's not possible, like sometimes, you lose fat in 12 weeks. Obviously, this is not the end goal, but people still love these little steps, what after what. So, any type of career progression program, any type of people love the steps. It's a little bit of the motivation for them. So, just sending them 47 member benefits, it doesn't hit the mark because this is when people get overwhelmed. And I always hear compare associations with libraries, right? At the moment, most of the associations are libraries. When you walk into the library, yes, there are aisles and the librarians kind of trying to put in some labels where the fiction is and where the history novels are. But at the same time, the popularity of libraries really goes down. And what comes instead, the services like Netflix, Spotify, that curate the content to you and that tells you what to do next, right? You watch this, watch that. If I open my Netflix, it's very different Netflix to my 7-year-old screen, right? So because the algorithm knows what to show me. So depending, on the career stage, depending on the industry people work, people need to receive the relevant content to them and know what the steps is, what the next steps is, and we will talk about this. And also, one of the problem of declining membership is that association notices too late. Remember my first slide when I was saying people for months feeling disengaged, not going, not reading your emails, and you only notice this when they haven't renewed their membership, when it's too late, they've already made their decision not to renew. So we're going through these slides today. Everyone loves structure, so this is the little structure for your webinar today. We're going to go through building loyalty from onboarding to engagement renewal and inviting people to participate. It's basically like following the member journey map if you're aware of this model. Let's start in, I cannot emphasize enough, how important it is, the member onboarding. I know that we're talking about the retention and building loyalty, and it feels like it's more engaging with the long-term members. However, I cannot emphasize enough the importance of this first year communication and actually first 90 days. People just joined, they just paid the money, and they are excited to do something. But unless you provide to them something very actionable to do, they're not going to participate. If you overwhelm them, they're like, "Oh, I don't have time." So it needs to be very, very clear what the next step is. And you can scan the QR code now, but at the same time, I will send the slides to you. So you will have this slide with you, and you will also be able to download more for that. We have the framework of what content to use and what questions to answer in order to bring people from one step of their member journey to another. We, at MemberBoard, we really truly believe that if the content doesn't move your member to the next step of their member journey, it's just the noise. So you don't need to create extra noise. You need to make them from the awareness stage into your recruitment. Once you recruit them, you need to make them involved and participate in your actions. Then from there, you need to go into their involvement so they can have chances to give back, because the more they give back, the more they connected to you emotionally. So you have this framework. I'm not going to go through every single step. It's more for your reference, for you to print out. So this is a little template of how of how your onboarding may look like, your first 28 days of onboarding. If your resources allow to run the member onboarding webinar, that would be absolutely fantastic. If your resources allow the personal phone call, it would be even better. It's actually, I don't know, but it's better. I actually believe that the online webinars, they're first more effective in terms of how to run them, because you can run them for a few people all together. But they also provide the opportunity for people to already meet each other and build the community and build the connection with the people who are at the same stage and just joined the association. So when they go to the next conference, they already know someone. They met them online during the webinar. So if you can, run these new member welcome webinars every month, let's say at the end of every month, you run the member welcome webinar, and members at any stage of at every stage of their journey can join these webinars. These webinars are not about particularly welcoming, but these webinars are about how to find member benefits and for people to be able to ask the questions, right? So it's kind of the group meetings. It can be 30 minutes, not more than that. It shouldn't be, a death by PowerPoint, but you do need to provide the little structure. And I will give you an example. A few years ago, I joined the ASAI, which is American American Society of Association Executive, like similar to our ASAI. And their membership is expensive. Let's just put it this way. And I joined, and their website and offering is overwhelming. I just couldn't go. And then you start to dig through the website, and some of their pages are outdated. So, you read about COVID while you're in 2025. And it just, oh my God, like, where do I find? So I had a friend of mine who lives in the US, and I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, can you please let me know where I need to go and where is the most efficient spending my time, right? So where I can get the return." And we sat down with her. She over Zoom shared the website with me and showed where this community is nice and active. Go there, join this group, and also obviously these are the events that you need to pay attention to. So it was so good, but this is the job that associations need to do. So if you can run this, even if it's a bi-monthly webinars, if you don't have the influx of new members every month, but invite members. And what I really would like to emphasize here, one useful action at a time, right? So every single day, don't try to we have the library of events, we have this range of 27 benefits. Try to match benefits to their needs. So if it's a student or graduate, try to invite them to mentoring program. If it's a more senior, try to invite them to the your certification program or masterclass events or something. So match your benefits to their career stage as much as possible. And then obviously try to make the connections between them. So for example, this is your committee members, this is their photos, this is how you can get involved. This is our special interest groups, this is how you can involved. Again, match special interest groups to their member personas of what interests they can, but it needs to be one step at a time, right? We notice that you're a graduate, so you may be interested into this young professional network, and so on and so forth. So very connect your every single email to their member persona and what benefits align to them. So for example, if they are employee, do not send them email about your professional identity insurance, because it's probably will be only relevant to the consultant or business owner, right? So match these benefits. And I also can encourage you to reuse this sequence for your disengaged members. So you can tweak a little bit the wording. So you can create, so for example, if you use a MailChimp, create this sequence in the MailChimp, then replicate this sequence and tidy up. Instead of saying, welcome to our community, just say something, we would like to remind you, and reuse this sequence for your disengaged members, because it's really great to go through this. And remember, A to Z, create the real structure and one useful action at a time. Do not overwhelm. Okay, you can put 2 or 3, but please no more than 3, right? So it's like ideally 1, but if you go more than 3, that's it. It's absolute no, right? So do not overwhelm people with CTA buttons. So chatting about personalization. And I can already hear you in the background saying, Olena, we do not have the technology to do personalization. What I can tell you, if you have MailChimp, you can do personalization very, very well. So it's just about the cleanliness of your data. And yes, it is boring but it is extremely impossible. I always say good marketing starts with good data. If you have a messy data, you will have a messy marketing outcome. You cannot run an effective marketing campaign if you don't know who you're talking about. So cleaning the data is similar as doing the spring clean in your house. It's boring. It sometimes costs money to order the cleaner if you don't want to wash the windows, but it's absolutely necessary. So, but if you have your data clean, the tip from me, and we're not going to go into this because this is can take the whole webinar itself, but the tip from me, use segments for the demographic data, membership type, and everything that you have in CRM. Use tags for behavioral data. Attended this event, participated in this program, young professional. So something that your data doesn't hold. So tags, behavioral data, segments for your demographic data that you hold in your CRM. And it's written on the slide, it's better to have 3 distinct segments that you actually serve and send personalized communication than 17 segments that you cannot create the unique content for. This is another tip that we're talking about. Make your communication specific, not only in your welcome email, every single social media post that you're doing, every single newsletter. Instead of saying, access our excessive resource of library, this sounds overwhelming already. I don't have time to scroll through your digital mess, right? So instead of saying access the mess, curate the content, right? Be a Netflix of your industry. This is the guide that may be helpful for you. This is the next event that you may be find helpful to attend. If this is a free webinar, that would be great as a welcome, because they just paid money. They need to get something back. Conversation on the forum that they can join, send them. Identify. I know that you all have automated forum notifications that annoys everyone. Let's just be honest. Pick up those conversations that are live and where people can really find the answers, and include the link to these particular conversations in your forum. A person they can learn from, your local committee member, your online webinar at the end of the month that we're running, absolutely necessary. The online webinars, the member benefit webinars, it's absolutely just member touch. Member welcome, member benefit overview. It's an absolutely amazing way to build connection with your members. Also, on another note, create as many as possible micro engagement opportunities. People want to engage, they genuinely do want, but they also genuinely don't have time. We all have, we have kids, we have mortgages, we have our full-time jobs. So instead of, only running 4-day conference and 1 year committee meeting participation, make sure that you have some kind of micro participation. Join our 30-minute online discussion. Instead of contribute the whole article, contribute some case study in our, we're preparing the white paper. Can you submit your example, or we're preparing the government letter? Can you submit your voice? Some little submissions matter. Answer a short member question instead of the lengthy member survey. I'm absolutely not saying that annual member survey is not important. It is, but as you all know, the annual member survey is taken by the if you're lucky, 20% of your active members, and these are the same members that participate every time. So, most likely your annual survey are responded by the same people over the last 10 years, because these are the most engaged members. But how do you get to these members who are busy, who are not so engaged, is with these micro surveys. Read this white paper instead of browse our whole library. Volunteer for defined tasks rather than the whole year commitment, and check these 3 topics discussed, and so on and so forth. I absolutely cannot emphasize how important this week this is, and I do encourage you to put this in your calendar and your membership team for every week. Check your hard bounces and unsubscribe members. The unsubscribing from your emails, it's the first sign I'm not interested in you. It's the first sign I don't want to hear from you anymore. It's the first sign you are annoying. You are sending me too much. If the emails are bounced, they change the job. You need to follow up with them. Every single campaign that you send, no matter what software you're using, even the cheapest, the worst software, email software, would have the report of the unsubscribe and had bounced emails. Review, cross-check again across your member database, find alternative email. This needs to be your routine if you don't want to lose your members. Because if people unsubscribe, they don't receive any communications from you. So this type of task has to be in every single. This is what we do for absolutely we have this as a routine task for our every client. Friday is our email cleanup day. We'll look at every single unsubscribed email. Now, chatting about the engagement. If you're lucky to have software, more sophisticated software that have the engagement score, congratulations. And if the engagement score, we also see a lot of associations that have sophisticated software, but they don't use the engagement scoring. If you have the engagement score, congratulations, you know what to do. If you don't have engagement score, please do not be discouraged, and don't say we cannot track the engagement because we don't have the good software. Your engagement via email system, it's very, very strong indicator and signal about your member engagement. As I already mentioned, check your unsubscribe and hard bounces, but also most of the software, especially software like MailChimp, will give you the list, create this segment of people who haven't opened your emails for 6 months, and run the re-engagement campaign with them. Because again, I know that a lot of marketers say the email marketing is dead, but at the same time, this is your indication of whether members are still reading something from you. So you generate lists of people who haven't participating in any events in the last 6 months. people who haven't opened any emails and people who haven't logged in your portal, if your system allows, compare this list and then follow up around 6 months time, not at the time of the renewal, because by the time you send them renewal email, it will be very late to change their decision. Then, create kind of a system. You have these regular participants who take your every single annual survey. They are your committee members. They are your volunteers. You know them. You know these people, like they're very connected. There are some people, Alison is asking, do you have any information on how to score engagement? I do have information. It's not in this webinar. I do have information how you score engagement. It very much depends on every single software that you're using. And I cannot unfortunately go into details because again, it will take the whole 45 minutes of explaining. We do have this in our membership marketing school course. So if you're interested, Alison, I can send you the link where I actually explain how to do this. But at the same time, in this webinar, go and read your software instructions. If you're using something like HireLogic or IMIS or Microsoft Dynamics, they have these tools. Just go and learn how to use the tools, and they all will be different. If you do not have this, as I said, just identifying what members who haven't opened your emails for the 6 months, this would be enough. I do not want to overcomplicate for you. You need two lists. First list of people who haven't been engaging with your emails for the six months, who haven't opened and clicked your emails. And second one, people who haven't go to any events. Combining these two lists will give you a very good, combining this list every 3 to 6 months will give you the identify these disengaged members, right? Very, very important to know them. And also set up the KPIs for you. We all have KPIs for the renewal rate, but we don't have KPIs. At the moment, we have 30% of engaged members and connected members, but we want to have 35% of connected members by the end of the year. This is how we track in the engagement campaign results. With the people who are disengaged, these are not the people who lapsed. They're still your active paying members. On paper, they're still in green, right? Like have this little green dot in the CRM, but you know that they're disengaged. The first very easy step is to send them again through this. Remember the member welcome email, customized member welcome email for re-engagement for re-engagement members. Just send them there and make sure that they're going through. And we will go into that. If they haven't still opened the emails, a little phone call, a little personal touch. I know you all don't have time for this and resources and all this type of things, but if you want to keep members, it's very important. So it's the priorities. As I mentioned, this shouldn't be any sales call. It shouldn't be, hey, buy our $2,000 conference. Absolutely not. It's something, how can we help? It's something like, has anything changed in your role or career? How can we help? How can we be helpful? Now we're coming back. We do need to run the renewal sequences. So renewal sequence is still very important if you've done the job very well. What your renewal sequence needs to do, 3 things. Remind them what they experienced, show them what's coming next, and say them why the connection and your community matters. Communicate your value and why you exist, right? Because some members do stay just to support the cause of you supporting the industry. So this all goes into the advocacy, into having the voice and these type of things. It's very, very important. So renewal 6, check your renewal emails for 3 things. Do you remind them what they experienced last year? Do you notify them what's coming next to create this FOMO? And then tell them why the connection matter and why your community matters. So, what shared values you have. I'm not going to go through this slide because you will receive these slides, but this is a very rough idea. Some associations start their renewal campaigns 2 months in advance. I personally find it very early. Some people start 45. Obviously, there's no one rule and no one structure that will fit all. But this is kind of our structure of 30, 14, 7 days on the day reminder, then during the grace periods and how you're using the lapsed campaign. In the first 30 show them what they've done, and the examples of these emails: you attended this event, especially for the corporate membership, this many people from your team participating, this type of things. And then 14 days before, show them what they are like, create this FOMO for them. Yeah, fear of missing out. If you're not connecting, you will miss this and that. So we'll go to the next slide because we don't have much time to stay on this, and you will read this on your own. Members recognition is part of retention. So apart from the renewal, the more people are involved, we are the creatures. Our nature is the more time we spend with something, the more we love it. We love our kids because we invest so much time. We love our pets because we invest so much time. And this pet who is always sick, you love them most because you spend so much time connecting with them. So the more people invest time in your association, the more they connected. So the more you create the pathways to volunteering and participation, the more people will love you. People love volunteering. I know that they have time, but they don't have time for the annual commitment, but they may have time to volunteer 30 minutes here and there. So create this path to participation, and also make sure that people know how to volunteer. People know, how to participate. And Azai doing this very well. Their volunteer engagement and participation program is very strong. So you can, if you would like to look at their example, please take a look. But something, volunteer with us, and how you can help. It's very important message. Win back recently lapsed members. I recommend to associations to reach out regularly to people who lapsed within 12 to 24 months. They are still these warm leads that you can try to reconnect with. Add a human recovery pathway, right? So first start with email sequence, but automation emails can only take you so far. If the relationship went pear-shaped, you do need to, personal intervention. So with the, kind of the lapse in this grace period, there needs to be a time when you're sending the personal email from your membership team. If this didn't help, then you go to the phone calls and or direct mail, but there needs to be always this type of personal touch. Only to those. You do not have to call all 10,000 people. Only those people who are at the edge of dropping out and and losing the view of the value. The final takeaway before I take a few questions: retention is built through the entire member experience. Members are more likely to stay if they regularly experience value. So remind them of these little steps that they can take. And I see a lot of people that I know, so you probably hear this from me all the time, but I do repeat this for the last 10 years in my every webinar. Association membership is like a gym membership. You can sign up to the most expensive gym. You can hire the best personal trainer in the city, but unless you pick up your bum from the couch and go, you're not going to become fitter. You have to put an effort in. Same as your members. Unless they participate, unless they connect to people, unless they build the communities and network, unless they get certification that get them promotion, unless they take the training, they're not going to see the value of the membership. And it's our job and association marketers to make them, to help them take this step and participate, and to make this participation as easy as possible. So, make sure that everyone is regularly involved and do at least something. They need to feel connected to other people, be the platform where people can, speak their own language and share their experiences. They stay if they can see how membership support what comes next in their career. So if they graduate, how they can find their future job. If they are professional, how they can get the promotion or find a new, better paid job. When they know how to participate, and when they are recognized and understood, please do not forget to say thank you. How strong is your current rhythm? And this is the question, some questions that I would like you to ask. You will have these questions with you. Do new members receive a guided onboarding? Do we communicate values throughout the year in a digestible pieces. Do we recognize contribution and involvement? Can members easily identify the next useful action? Can we identify members who are becoming disengaged? So answer these questions and see where you can get support. So we are now having the little Q&A, but while if you don't have any questions, if you can leave a little bit what one member engagement improvement you will take back to your association after this webinar. Let's just share. And then I have a little seven steps on the next slide, which you can actually take to improve your engagement and participation. But at the same time, while you are writing, I can also, Nicole have a question. What platform have you seen the most successful with? Would you recommend for effectively capturing, measuring, and reforming member engagement? Nicole, I'm absolutely, as a technology consultant, I absolutely not recommending one software over another because it really requires a very deep dive on your needs, how your membership is built, how tech savvy your team is, because I can tell you that in my practice, I've seen the best, like the Ferraris of the CRM systems, and people were not able to track member engagement. Not because the systems couldn't do it, but because first, their data was dirty, and second, the system wasn't set up properly to track the engagement. So it's never the system, it's always the people and processes around it, right? So if you have a good process around at the same time, if you have a clean data and you have the software like MailChimp, you're good. If you have real process, and it's not about systems, it's never about systems. Any other questions, guys? All right, we can see the email cleaning. Whoo! If this is the best, the outcome of this webinar, this is what I want to see. Please clean your data and please look at your emails. New member webinar, the re-engagement, asking first rather second. Do not overwhelm, start implementing one useful action benefit at a time, recheck our onboarding emails and edit. Thank you. Data collection, 3 renewal, new member welcome. I'm so glad that you did find some steps clear and helpful. All right. Anyone else? No one else is writing. So the next step from me, from the more strategic kind of steps to more tactical. First and foremost, my webinar was created in mind that your value proposition is sorted, right? So we're not talking here about create your value proposition because it's kind of granted. So, I came to the webinar, I assumed that you have a very good strategy and very good member proposition, and we are just communicating it, right? But at the same time, if you do not have you can create a beautiful marketing campaign, then you invite people and there is nothing behind the paywall, it's not going to work. So revisit your value and make sure that what you promise and your member benefits really align and resonate with who are your members now. Second, strengthen connection and belonging. And I mentioned a few times, there is nothing more better than you create for engagement and loyalty than creating the community. People will come for community. They don't even need you. The members serve themselves. Establish re-engagement process. Identify disengaged members, find the way to identify disengaged members and make sure you re-engage with them. This includes following up with people who unsubscribed or their emails bounced. Review personalization and relevance. Make sure that your emails personalized and relevant to the need and you're not sending another newspaper for them to read because they do not have time. Please respect their time. Remove overwhelming friction. Cannot emphasize this enough. And then detect quiet members and guide them and measure one renewal behavior. So if you can take any of these steps, that would be great. And that's end from me. Please connect with me, follow me on LinkedIn. I share absolutely amazing, I share abundance of content like this in my posts. So if you would like to learn more, membership marketing school, or if you would like to dive even deeper into the strategy, we would love to work with you.
you,
Any
Olena.
more
That was fantastic.
questions? We have one more question. Sorry, sorry, Angela, but we have one more question from, oh, I just lost it with thank yous. Georgia, following on Nicole's inquiry, do any webinar participants recommend a CRM that works effectively for the association? Again, Georgia, same thing. There is absolutely no one software that fits all. Every software has pros and cons. We do technology consulting and software selection. And yeah, I can tell you that uh, I receive at least once a month, I receive a call. We hate this software. What software are you using? And they would call me and I heard the name of any single software. There is no perfect software. Sometimes software don't match. Sometimes there is high expectations, and sometimes there is people just don't know how to use it. The people do not invest. The software is not going to run itself. It's really important to invest time into learning how to. So there is no answer what one CRM. And sometimes people unhappy with the software, not because the software is bad, but because it's not set up properly, because the data is dirty. They can't trust the data. This is not the software fault. And you will hear, oh, we hate the software because this is so bad. But the problem could be in how they use the software. So, um, cool. Right. I don't think that there are any questions. Thank you so much for all the great words, for all the thank yous. I don't think that there is any more questions here. Cool.
So what I will say, Elena, is what a fantastic presentation. I think everybody would happily agree with me. You covered off so much in such a short time. So what I want to offer all of our wonderful members who've joined us today is a follow-up email with a copy of the slides, because we've got so much we're going to have to go back and work through, and a copy of your membership health check toolkit. Now, this I know is a fantastic toolkit. Everybody look out for this email, because you can actually go back and look at everything that Olena has said today and then put it into practice in your organization. And as you say, there is so many things on the market for us to be looking at. So I'm going to open up a chat in our online community to hear what other platforms people are using and learning a few more tips and tricks. And I'm going to bring Olena into that conversation. Hope that's okay with you, Olena.
No, but probably, and Angela, maybe you can set up the forum kind of discussion and follow up on this, like on member,
Yes.
and we can, if you have any questions, if you, for example, go through the slides, and I purposely done the slides, so there is a lot of nuggets for you, like, the days, the sequences. So if you have any questions, please ask the question in the community and I will be there. And also reach out to me directly. You all know that I want to chat.
Yes, please do. And she is coming to our Sydney and Melbourne Leaders Exchanges. So if you do want to sit down and have a deep dive, she will be there with us. But everybody, thank you so much for spending your time with us today. Olena, as always, your insights are pure gold. So everybody, thank you so much. We will be in touch. Have an amazing day. Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.